What is going on, everybody? Has it been 2 days already? Yep, totally has. Awesome. Well, I'm Paul, here to give you all the information that you'll need for the next couple days in the crypto space. We're talking news, conferences, events, everything that you need to be prepared. But first, I need a simultaneous sip. We're just going to take a sip of tea, coffee, water, whatever you have on hand, just to start the day right, calm, placated, peaceful. It's something we don't get enough of in today's hectic world. So, turn it up. All right, now that our moment of serenity has been broken, let's roll into the hustle and bustle of the first article of the day, talking about Banco Santander and Ripple. Now, as we know, the Swell Event 2018, Ripple's biggest event of the year, is going on right now, and we got to see a lot of banks, a lot of big-name speakers, including Bill Clinton, so you can see this space is starting to kind of mushroom outward and grow in terms of, well, who's noticing it. And in an exciting announcement, Banco Santander has said that they are going to be expanding their already existing plans for Ripple-enabled payments. Let's unpack what's going on there. The service, known as Santander OnePay FX, not exactly something that rolls off the tongue per se, allows individuals to use the Ripple mobile app with the help of Xcurrent to settle international payments. So customers in Spain, UK, Brazil, and Poland can now settle their international transfers in as little as 1 day, or at least by the next day, whereas currently wire transfers take between 3 and 5 days. So while maybe not as lightning fast as even Bitcoin's 10-minute block time, this is a legal regulated way to send international payments in much less time than previous existing systems allow. An individual representing Banco Santander drew the analogy between the current user experience with booking hotel rooms, using digital services, and cross-border payments, and how individual retail investors, they want to see something similar to the ease of booking a hotel room when they're sending international payments. And from the looks of things, that seems to be what the future holds. Moving on from one large institution to another, Google is officially banning what's called obfuscated code from web store extensions, and it's likely to affect cryptojackers or just individuals who are nefarious to begin with. The new restrictions are kicking off on October 1st, and individuals can continue to submit proposals throughout Q4. However, come January 1st of 2019, any app with obfuscated code is out of here. You can see here from the article, Google confirmed that any Chrome extension submitted to the web store will not be allowed to obfuscate any part of its code, thereby allowing for more transparency and accessibility on the part of users so they can see what they're actually installing on their browser. App creators can continue to submit apps with obfuscated code for the next 90 days until the end of Q4. However, come the beginning of January, any apps that are not considered compliant will be removed from the Chrome web store entirely. Google is quoted saying, quote, "Today, over 70% of malicious and policy-violating extensions that we block from the Chrome Web Store contain obfuscated code. So just this one change in policy alone could help to remove around potentially 70% of nefarious apps. An excellent development indeed for the layman." Some more good news coming out of the crypto space. BitMEX reports that ICOs are officially breaking even, something that maybe wasn't necessarily intuitive given the USD valuations plummeting in the crypto market. Bit of a wall of text here. Based out of Hong Kong, BitMEX revealed that on Monday, a study that was undertaken by the crypto analytic firm Token Analyst found that despite the bear market and the massive crash in Ethereum prices, ICOs have accumulated about $93 million in unrealized profits, and net profits coming out to about $727 million. So even though Ethereum has plummeted to about $228 a pop, nonetheless ICOs are still turning a profit, assumingly in no small part contributed by the fact that they're running pretty lean teams, and each individual on the team is bringing intense value. This is just another way to highlight how brick-and-mortar institutions do not have the level of flexibility and resiliency afforded to small, highly technical teams where each member of said team packs a wallop in terms of value. This research coming out of BitMEX is a bit contrasting to the research coming out of DR that found 70% of ICOs were currently valued at less than what they raised during their ICO, allegedly representing a waste for both long-term investors and providing less compelling picture for the health of the industry. But realistically, any long-term investor worth their salt should know that when things go down, it doesn't mean they're going to stay down forever, per se. After all, if somebody thought that was the case with Bitcoin after Mt. Gox, well, they may well be kicking themselves right now. So while this doesn't mean that all ICOs are eventually going to Lambo Moon and we'll all be rich, OMG, it's going to be great, it definitely means that projects that are working hard, they don't necessarily care so much about the valuation. cough cough, Viewly. They're a fantastic example. Teams working hard, valuation doesn't matter too much for them, and they're still releasing regular updates. So realistically, finding a dedicated team that's putting in consistent hard work and updates may ultimately reflect this BitMEX study a bit more than the DR report. That said, something we say a lot on this channel, only time will tell. Sometimes you think you know what may come out and something blindsides you and surprises you, and that seems to be the case with some Sia Coin investors, as the Sia team has officially announced that after all this time, almost a year, they're going to be hard forking and bricking the Bitmain ASICs. Let's go ahead and unpack how this dramatic saga has unfolded thus far and where we stand. Essentially, Sia Coin, a decentralized file storage solution, decided that they were going to create a partner company, Obelisk, and develop ASIC miners specifically for Sia Coin. Unfortunately, Bitmain leapfrogged them, creating a much more efficient machine that was able to do more with less. Given the fact that Bitmain is an industrial ASIC giant, it's not too surprising that they were able to relatively easily outcompete what amounted to a ASIC upstart. You can see from the article here, these actions reportedly disrupted the investments made by members of the Sia Coin community. My 2 cents, investment in and of itself is speculative in nature, so it's not too big of a surprise when every so often a major or minor investment you make becomes disrupted. That's why resiliency and flexibility is important, along with doing your own research, something that we always try to drive home here at Cryptide. Essentially, what this allows is for only Obelisk miners manufactured by Sia's parent company, Nebulous, to mine on the Sia blockchain. Unlike other hard forks targeted at the ASIC monopoly, Sia's goal isn't to completely prohibit ASICs, but rather to give Obelisk miners the competitive edge. To quote Vorik, a member of the team, quote, "We believe that embracing an ASIC monopoly is better than resisting ASICs altogether. That said, we don't believe that a cryptocurrency needs to embrace a parasitic or abusive ASIC monopoly," end quote. No further details as of yet as to how the Sia team explicitly defines parasitic or abusive monopolies, but we'll keep you updated as things develop. Next up, we got another flippening on our hands. This time, no, don't worry, don't close the video. It's not about Bitcoin. This time it's about ICOs. Apparently, Singapore has hosted more ICOs than the United States in the month of August, the first time ever. A lot of increased regulatory scrutiny going on in the United States, as per the article, so a lot of these projects are checking out some more favorable environments, and Singapore is coming up on the radar as a pretty favorable one indeed. The small city-state was able to host 17 ICOs in the month of August, while the US was only able to host 15, so a little +2 for the lapel of Singapore. And you can see here a really nice looking chart that was put together by Elementus, the company that undertook this study. And you can see here for the first time, Singapore jumping up from the well-held number 2 spot up to number 1. Way back in October to December 2017, Russia was the top dog for a short time before the United States saw an unprecedented boon in no small part thanks to the 2017 bull run. Another interesting tidbit of information is that in terms of USD valuation, most money for ICOs was raised this year during the bear market, which is a bit surprising and also a bit telling of the fact that, as we've been saying here at Cryptide for, oh man, going on half a year now with this bear market, this is the time that smart money, institutional investors, individuals that have been patient and waiting for the right time to scale in with their large institutional capital, well, this is what they're waiting for. So realistically, I don't think it's too much of a surprise that a lot of the investments that are occurring are during the bear market, when smart money is keeping an eye on the best entry points. That said, smart money seems to know what it's doing, as do we. After all, we're finished up with the news, so let's go ahead and get into the conferences, events, and happenings for October 3rd, Wednesday. The MoneyLive Lending 2018 conference is happening in London. Venture Capital World Summit as well happening in London, and EconoLex Beesley Lectures 2018, a series of informative lectures about blockchain, are happening in London as well. So lots of stuff happening in the UK capital. Supply Chain Finance Summit APAC is happening in Singapore. There it is, the city-state yet again. Delta Summit kicking off in Malta. ASROC Crypto Trading Conference happening as well in Malta, Binance's new home. And Crypto Springs 2018 is happening in beautiful sunny California, the left coast of the United States. Moving on to October 4th, Thursday, the 2020 Fintech World Conference and Workshop is kicking off in Washington, D.C. The London Family Office and High Net Worth Blockchain Conference is occurring in London, so if you are a high net worth individual and feel like enjoying some caviar and talking about blockchain with your pinky out, that is a place for you. And of course, we have a Lisk meetup going on in Berlin, much more casual, going down in Germany. That's all we have for October 4th, Thursday, and for this Crypto Coffee Update, As usual, links below in the description. After all, if not, I would just be talking out of my, and you know how that goes. That seems to be the precedent for some various news and journalistic outlets here in the space, and that's what we try and cut through for you, dear listener. Give you all the most beneficial, straightforward information we possibly can, but I don't know what to do here unless you leave me a comment. You let me know what you think about this kind of content, and you let me know if there's something going on that maybe you want to hear about. If you don't feel like leaving a comment, feel free to jump into the Cryptide Discord, linked as well below in the description. All kinds of conversation and stuff going on there. But for now, my name is Paul. We are Cryptide, and remember, the tide is rising. Somebody plug the drains, it seems.